Good day everyone! Today we will have a brief discussion about deviance and social reaction. Through this video, we will discuss one by one the content of today's topic with some examples for you to better understand.
The reaction is executed by an individual in a society that conforms to the norm, but are also executed in contrast to it. It is possible to have an incident like robbery, fraud, abuse, and many more. All mentioned earlier are not accepted in our society. This will not happen if there is no root cause. Why do they do such things? Are they doing it for nothing? Let's discuss first the meaning of deviance and social reactions. You'll see that the students are about to leave their table, and because they are in a rush, a boy accidentally left his wallet. After they left, one student saw the wallet. Instead of searching for the owner of it, she opened the wallet and put inside of her bag.
In every society, we have standards to follow. These standards indicate the attitude and the act of an individual. For example, young people should manner to their elders, or putting your trash in a trash can and segregate it, returning things, especially valuable things, to its owner if it's not yours, and other more things taught to us. This helps us to have a good manners and right conduct that doesn't go against the should act of an individual according to the society he belongs to. Not following the expected behavior that he should act and going against it is called deviance. A person who doesn't not conform to the norms and doing acts in contrast to the norms can define as different, not right, and crime are considered as deviant behavior.
Why and how does an individual act in deviant behavior disregards the norm that the society has? We have now what we call the Anomie theory, where according to Merton in 1957, deviance happens when an individual strives from achieving culturally valued goals through legitimate means. Legitimate means are the acceptable ways of gaining goals. There are four ways a person responds to anomie. The first one is what we call ritualism, which is where a person rejects the goal and continues to conform to social norms. The second one is rhetoricism, where the person rejects both the means and goals. The third is what we call the innovation, where individuals accept the cultural goals of the society but reject the method of attaining those goals. Last is rebellion, where the person rejects both goals and the means, then substitute these new goals and new means of attaining goals. We also have another theory called general strain theory, where according to Agnew, strain creates negative emotions like anger, frustration, and fear that incites our deviant behavior. The role of a person's emotions explains the happenings that pushes a frustrated or an angry person to kill or harm the others.
Another is the control theory, which explains that our social ties influences one's motion to engage in a deviant behavior or not. There are also two forms of control, which would be explained further a little later. Now, let's also talk about differential association theory, which states that although the law has a standard for a deviant act, and one group may define a certain behavior as such, some groups may see it as a desirable act. Due to our association with the other, we then learn different attitudes about behavior in our act. Depends on who we interact. When someone engages in a certain behavior, it depends upon how one is frequently exposed to attitude and beliefs that are favorable to that behavior. A study by Matsuda in 1982 revealed that the number of favorable definitions of delinquent predicted which teenager reported a delinquent behavior. The larger the number of definitions endorsed by a youth, the larger the number he reported committing delinquent act in a preceding year.
To violations of norms, there are also reactions to norm violations. Labeling theory can be correlated to the reactions toward these what we call norm violations. Labeling theory refers to labeling or tagging an act as deviant in order to say that it is a deviant act. Otherwise, if a deviant act is not labeled or tagged as one, then it is not considered as a deviant.
Rule breaking, as an example, can only be considered if the act is labeled and tagged. Rule breaking and oftentimes are being denied, normalized, considered as a situational factors, and balanced with the good personality of that person. To be specific, this reaction toward a rule breaking depend on the actor whether he or her personality contributes or negate the rule breaking act. On the audience whether the authority is present to witness the punishable act, and on the situation whether the act of rule breaking is expected to appropriate in the place or not. This labeling of rule violation come to some cost: institutionalized of the deviance, backtracking, effective social control, and anticipated deviance.
An actor who committed a deviant act can develop stigma from the audience that causes status loss and social discrimination. Also, the actor's behavior may become self-fulfilling prophecy. According to Merton, when the audience behavior towards the actor triggers the behavior of the actor in accordance to the tagged behavior of the audience to the actor. The stigma to the actor contributes to self-evaluation of the actor and internalization of the deviant act he or she committed.
Secondary deviance, or the anticipated deviance, comes after the societal action. The actor continues to act of deviant or violation of norms. Deviant subculture forms with these actors with the same deviant acts interact with one another to create a sensational of acceptance, differentiating theory, violation of norms, reaction to violated norms, labeling stigma, and then secondary deviance or internalization of the deviant act. As you can see, it is like a cycle of deviance which nonetheless can be put a stop in a manner of controlling one of these steps.
There are two social controls. The other one is the formal social control and the informal social control. Earlier, we have discussed the informal social controls and its reactions towards an individual's behavior. Formal social reactions now are accountable for dealing with violation of rules and laws such as criminal justice system, juvenile justice system, and the mental health system. In this case, you will see the difference between labeling informal and informal social control. Informal social control, the functions of labeling are to set a concrete example that a violation of norm or deviant act shall not be done, to use a scapegoat to relinquish tension and to maximize the tendencies of cohesion and solidarity of the society. While in formal social control, the function of labeling is to set a tag to a deviant behavior, whether it is a violation of norms or not.
That's it, everyone. We hope you gained knowledge about deviance and social reaction. Remember that you should use your knowledge not for your personal gain but for the